guys, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something very exciting, which is I'm going to be sharing with you my vintage 80s and 90s plush collection. My plush collection, my vintage plush collection is one of my favorite parts of collecting. I resonate with them the most out of everything I collect. I love vintage plush. I think that they're cute. Their colors are amazing. They have the most amazing gimmicks. Everything about them is everything I need. So all the information, I did go over information before doing this video because it's a lot of different toy companies and years, and I hope I get them all right, because I have a very bad memory. It's just a thing. So my sources for the video are Ghost of the Doll, which is an amazing resource for vintage toys, and then Toy Sisters, which I got a lot of puppy surprise, cup surprise, animal surprise information from there. They have a really good database for learning about those. So yeah, let's jump in. Let's start with something I only have one of, and that's gonna be Nosy Bear. So my Nosy Bear has popcorn in its nose. I'm gonna try to make it where you can see as good as possible. And the gimmick with Nosy Bear is that when you push the belly, the things inside of its nose pop around. Let me get my reference. I have my whole book to reference. Nosy Bears were created by Play School in the late 80s and early 90s. There were adults and there were babies and there were a couple bunnies. My Nosy Bear's name is Popper. So yeah, the nose is just like a glass globe. He has a little smile. In the ears, you can see the Nosy Bear logo. Mine's tag is faded off. It's like a pinky, like a dark pink red color. And they're pretty small, but you can feel the air in their stomach. So let's talk a little bit more about Nosy Bear. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 adults. I'll put a picture of those adults on the screen so you can see them. And then there were babies. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 babies. And then there were 3 or 4 special bunnies. I think it was 3 bunnies, but when I look at my list, it looks like there's 4 bunnies. Oh, that's because I said the title. So yeah, there's 3. Chicky, Ducky, and Tisket, which were released especially for Easter. The thing about the babies is the babies have a water globe situation instead of the air pocket. I personally like the air pocket better, but the babies are really cute too. And the bunnies I think are the most sought after. They also have the water noses instead of the air. So yeah, that's Nosy Bear. We need them. We need more Nosy Bears in our life. I was actually at a toy show and there was somebody who had a ton of these and I missed out on them. Well, I chose to get the Twinkle Bears instead because I had one Nosy Bear but I didn't have any Twinkle Bears. So yeah, I hope I find more of these in the future. This one I do believe I got off of an Instagram sale. So I'm really happy to have this one. Next, let's talk about a 90s toy, which I have 2 of. These are one of my new favorites. I can tell you now, they're made by Tyco, and I found both of these in the wild within a week of each other. One I found at a thrift store. I think this one is the one I thrifted for a couple dollars, and this one is the one I found at a local vintage toy store called New Era Vintage in Lebanon, Tennessee. So What are these things? These are called little fursons, and their gimmick is so cool. As you see, they have this very fuzzy hair, and these were made by Tyco in the mid-90s. Let me get my reference ready so I can tell you a little bit more. Yeah, 1995. Tyco is one of my very favorite toy companies. They're the creator of Doodle Bear and maybe a few more things that are in my collection. I just love Tyco so much. They have a certain charm to their toys. I did some research to figure out like how many different ones there were, because there wasn't a resource for this, but their gimmick is they have these little pouches throughout their fur. Here's this one's tag. These have been washed. They've washed, and look how cool their hair turned out. And in the pouches, there's multiple pouches, which I didn't know. And then I put them into the wash machine, and like the babies came out. I think this one, yeah, I don't, like you can see on both sides of their head, they have a pouch. This one doesn't have any babies, but there's babies hidden all over their fur. Its babies might be somewhere else, because I play with the babies a lot and I put them in my hair and stuff. I think in my last video there's some of the babies in my hair, but I'll find the other babies. But like if you look here, here's one of the babies. The babies are just kind of like these little felt guys. They usually have like a bib or diaper. This one has the star pattern, so I feel like it probably came with the one that has the stars, which is this one. And I couldn't really find the babies in mine, and then I washed them and then all kind of babies fell out. So I don't know where the babies were hiding, but here's one of the babies. Here's another one of the babies. This baby is a purple baby. This one has the hearts, so it matches this one. So this one is actually the baby to this one. And let me see if this one has any more babies. I don't think so, but I do have a blue baby somewhere. But like, look how big these holes are. They stay really hidden. So for these, there are, I counted when I looked online, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ones. There's a pink one with hearts, a darker pink one with stars, a dark purple with yellow flowers, a light purple with blue flowers, blue with star, and a greenish blue with hearts. That's these two that I have. It's crazy because on camera the color is showing up to be like identical, but this one's more green and this one's more blue. And this one's the blue one and this one's more green. But yeah, and you can see this one has like a flatter face, whereas this one has more of like a little hedgehoggy face. They're so cute and I want them all. Let's go ahead and talk about another toy that I only have one of in my collection. So this, my friends, is a very underrated toy. It's called a Wingdings. So Wingdings were created by Hasbro in 1986, and they have lots of cool glow in the dark features. In their boxes, they actually came upside down and they would hang by these little hooks like this. They had like a little hanger and they would hang in their box. This one is, let me see, I think I wrote down which specific one I had. I think mine is Wispy, but there's Zesper, Windy, Flighty, and Glider are the ones that I would want. There are some that are more like, seem more boyish. Zephyr is really, really pretty and I want her. She has like yellow hair, but I love this one too. So you can see that her eyes are glow in the dark. Her wings are really pretty on the outside. Mine has a little bit of like wear on the inside of the wings. These are really cool. I actually bought her online. I got her on eBay after seeing Lao Sky Painter. She went to Japan, and in one of her videos she brought back one of these, and then I knew I had to have it because it's such a unique plush that I had never heard of before. I really like their hair. I think she's so cute. I'm not sure if the wings had a glow feature, but then you can also kind of like, they have a little Velcro here that you can put on, and then she can be like snugly wrapped. But I definitely want some more of these cuties, like all the girl ones, not the boy ones. We're gonna talk about a toy line called Turtle Tots. Turtle Tots were created by Mattel in 1988. They're really cute. They're these really small little turtle babies, and you could carry them by their little shell. They have like plastic eyes, little tip of hair on the top. Their shells are really pretty, and if they haven't faded off, they usually have their name written on the outside of their shell jacket. This one has lace. They would come with a bonnet. None of mine have their bonnets, sadly. They also have the little Turtle Tot tee down here. Mine, let me see if I can see her name. This one is Toodles, and I'll take off the shell so you can see. So this is what she looks like outside of her shell. Kind of sad, honestly. Here's her little tag. It's not in the best of shape, but she's super cute. The inside of their shell has like a soft, what's that word, silky inside. Yeah, but this one is Toodles. I also have the purple one, who is Trista. Her shell jacket is in a little bit better shape, and she has the blue shell. She's a purple one with pink hair. I'll show you a side by side. Here they are. These are really cute. The colors on these are really good, and they're a small plush. So yeah. And the inside of her shell is purple to kind of match her. If you'll see, she's actually wearing this little nightgown, which is really cool. A friend sent me to this from Instagram. So I used to be a part of this group that did like toy fairy exchange boxes, and I got her in one of those boxes, and she had this nightgown on, and I didn't know until I was researching, look at these little hands, later on, that this is actually part of an accessory pack. So there were 3 accessory packs. There was like a dining one that came with like a plate and a spoon, a bedtime one which came with this little nightgown. It also came with, let me see if I wrote it down, a booties and a blanket. There was a playtime set that came with like a sunbonnet. I really want that one. But yeah, and the one that came with the meal also came with the bib. So I'm so happy to have this little piece, and I'll continue to look for these play sets as well. The last Turtle Tot item that I have is these 2. These are actually the twins. I got my twins off of Macari. They come in one big shell, but I had their shell, but I don't know what I did with it. I really had to clean these. They were very dirty. They didn't have a name, but they have like little kind of pajama-y outfits on. Yeah, and their shell would hold them together because they are little twins. One's yellow, one's purple. They're very, very cute. It's cute because the yellow one has purple accents like on the clothes and on the eyes, and then the purple one has the yellow accents, which I think is a really cute touch. They also all came with one of these little plastic bottles. These came with a lot of toys. I think I saw these bottles in more than just Turtle Tots. but I can't remember what other vintage plush came with these. But they're just these hard plastic bottles. I don't think, yeah, they can't, the top can't come off. Some little kid chewed on mine. That's okay. The cool thing about these turtle tots is there were also tiny turtle tots that were produced, and I really want some of the tiny ones. There were also play sets that the little tiny turtle tots could fit into. I'll show you the tiny ones if I remember. It's going to be a lot of editing to insert all the pictures of the cute stuff I want to show you, but I'll try my best. To brush-a-loves. So I have my brush-a-loves back here. Brush-a-loves are so cute. They were originally created by Amtoy and then I think by Tyco actually. It says those characters from Cleveland, Amtoy. I do, for some reason, I have, oh yeah, then Tyco. So the earlier ones were made by Amtoy and then Tyco in the US. And then in Europe, they were made by Matchbox in 1987 to 1989. There were only 4 of the larger size ones introduced in the US. So these are really cool. They have a little brush on their tail, so you could brush your friend. They had a mirror on one hand, and then they had this is like a little powder poof actually, so you could, you know, do some makeup. This one is so cute. It's like little sweets on it and purple hair. I always put little accessories on my brush-a-loves because I feel like they look really cute. Their tail is like really long. So this one is Bubble Love. I really love the name for this one, but there were 4 other ones. There was a pink one, a purple one, and a green one. I also have the pink one. Here she is. She has all of the little barrettes and stuff, but her name is Beauty Berry. She has like a heart, like hearts on her. Her brush is pink. Look how long her tail is. This is her powder puff. This is her mirror. It's also in pink. I've seen these become faded, like the mirrors. And then her tag also says Amtoy. So the ones created in for Europe and the UK are really cool. There's different colors that I've never seen before, like a yellow one and stuff. So those would be cool to collect later on as more like Grail toys. But other than these little brush-a-love, these big brush-a-loves, there's also, they created 2 other toys. One is these things called Kiss-a-loves, and you would push their belly and they would like blow out perfumed air. They're like smaller flocked figures. I have no Kiss-a-loves in my collection, but they also created little brush-a-loves, and I do have 2 little brush-a-loves. I was so fortunate to find both. I can't remember if I found both of my brush-a-loves in the wild, but the little brush-a-loves look like this. They're on all 4s, kind of like a little puppy in a way. They still have the long tail with the brush. It's just a little smaller. Mine has on a little necklace, but that's not a part of it. And they had this little thing so you could put it around your wrist. My wrist is too big, but they have like a vinyl face. Let me see if I wrote down the little brush-a-love's name. This one is Dapple Blossom. And I cannot find the name of this one, but they all are in different colors and they're very cute and they're worth having. Theirs how many releases? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe? I think there's 6 of these. Yeah, Brush-A-Loves are super cute. I think that most vintage collectors know about Brush-A-Love, but just in case you don't, now you do. Next, we're gonna move on to 1994, and we're gonna talk about Kenner and the Secret Keepin' Pops. So, my Secret Keepin' Pop is right here. These were very, very, very cute. There are 4 different ones. Oh no, there's 3 different ones. There's a dark pink one, a white and pink one, and then there's the purple and blue one. And they would all come with a little key that you would put right here in their stomach. And the key actually correlates to their name. I figured this out by looking at old packaging. But once you use the key, you could open them up and you could put your little secret things inside. They also came with a little charm that you could also wear, but I packed it away with my figures because I kept it on my other shelf, not with my plushies. But look how cute and gorgeous they are. I know there's someone on Instagram who has like a cat prototype of one of these. I think that's really cool. This is like a hard plastic. I know there are people who do sell the reproduction keys. One of my plushies fell. Who do sell the reproduction keys. So that's really cool if you'd like to try to find that. Let me tell you about their names. So the purple one came with a star key and a star charm. Wait, no, the pink one came with the star key and the star charm. The purple one came with a heart and a blue key, and the white one came with a red flower and a gold star charm. His name is actually Star. The purple one's name is Sweetheart, and the white pup is named Posy. I thought that was really cool. I think it was cool that I found out their names. So yeah, that is the Secret Keepin' Pop. Shall we move on to Twinkle Bears? They're one of my newer, they're one of my newer finds that I found at a toy show recently. Look how cute. They all have these little individual belly badges. I'm trying to show you that these would light up. They had this special bottle that they could drink from, and when they would drink from it, that's when their belly would light up. This one is a sun. You could also push their nose. Mine isn't working. I'm not sure what type of battery they take. I haven't actually looked into it, but I'll show you their tag. There's the Twinkle Bear tag, if you can see it at all. So there were 4 different Twinkle Bears, I'm pretty sure. I have the yellow one. Look how cool their eyes are too. Like they have like these stars in their eye. Their hair is cute too. But I have the purple one and I have the yellow one. I'm going to show you a little up close of the purple one too. It has like a cloud and a little moon on its belly. And I don't think either of mine... Wait. It does work. Do you see it lighting up? That is so cool. I guess the battery in this one isn't dead. Wow. That is so cool. Oh, let's talk about Twinkle Bear. So they were produced by Fantasy Inc. in 1995. There were 4 of them. They had the disc in their belly. Their nose would light up. They came with a bottle. The blue one's name is Huggy. The pink one is Lovey. The purple one is Dreamy. And the yellow one is Sunny. I'm so glad that we got to be able to see their bellies light up. So yeah, that's the purple one. Let's push on Sunny's belly again to see, on her nose again, see if we can get her to work. No, she doesn't work, but I'll get her some new batteries and maybe we can test her out in the future. Next, we're gonna get into one of my larger collections, which is over here, which is my Popples collection. So Popples were created by Mattel in 1986 through 1988, and they came in 3 different sizes. There were 3 released in each size, and then there were like a lot of specialty ones. Like they were like flower ones and cheerleading ones and a rocker one and animal ones and a Dalmatian one and sports ones. Like there are so many different Popples. So the only largest size one that I have, which is the 13, is this one. This is Party. I got her for my birthday a few years ago. Her ears are so cute. So they have these long pom-pom tails and they roll up. Let me see if I can do it. Like you take this part and you fold it, and then their legs can go inside of this pouch. I don't know if I've ever rolled her up before. And you can see the little Popples logo on the outside. So yeah, she's the biggest size and she's the only one I have in this large size. Her name is Party. There's also 2 other ones that came in the side by Mattel, but they're from those characters from Cleveland. And it was a part of American Greetings, and there were 12 different sets. Let me share with you my smaller ones. I have all of the 8-inch ones and I have none of the 11-inch ones. So here are my 8-inch ones. If I can remember their names. This one is Putter, the green one. He's very, very cute. I also have Potato Chip. Potato Chip is the easiest one to remember because she's kind of like yellow like a potato chip, and you can see, let me show you the size difference actually. This is the size difference, and there would be one size in the middle that I don't have any of. And then lastly, I think this might be Prize. No, this is Pretty Bit. Yeah, she's so cute. Mine's eyes on Pretty Bit are like kind of wonky, to be honest, but she's still cute. She has her little tail. My potato chip is missing its tail. She doesn't have a tail. It fell off. I don't think that it's uncommon for their tails to fall off. I'm gonna unroll her so you can see her. But yeah, you can see where her tail used to be, but it fell off. Their noses are hard plastic, their eyes are hard plastic, the rest of them is soft. You really don't want to put these in the dryer because it will like fry all of this hair into a little poof. I also have one of the Pufflings, which I got from a toy store called Totally Rad in Nashville. The Pufflings are just like little puff balls, and then they just turn into like a little fuzzy kind of little, I'll show you, one second, like kind of like this little thing. I don't think that the thing that they turn into is that cute. I brushed this out when I first got it, but it's kind of like, it was in really rough shape because I feel like someone did put this one in the dryer. So it took me a very long time to try to get it. But I still feel like it could use like another brushing because it was really matted down. But they're just these little puff balls, and there was like a lot of different ones in a lot of different colors. Popples is like a huge toy line, and I would say that its popularity is right up there with Care Bears. I think it's probably one of the most popular 80s toys for people to collect. Okay, now let me share with you one that I don't have much information about, and it is my prototype. So these were supposed to be a cousin of the Popples, but then they were never produced. There were a few different ones that I saw on sale, like online, at the same time that I saw this guy. He doesn't have eyes, and I feel like somebody just put these little eyes. It's kind of a scare, so put these little eyes so that he wouldn't just be faceless. But eventually, maybe sometime, I will get him eyes. But he's a little raccoon. And he has his sample tag. It says Mattel Korea Branch Office, description raccoon, note duplicated, and then it has the date, which is 1985. So he's definitely a prototype, and he was going to be produced by Mattel. Here it says Mattel tag, and I kind of regret not getting the other ones when I had the chance, but I did pay a lot for the sample. So yeah, there's his sample tag. And I think it's cool that he has his original tag as well, like this big one. Yeah, but these are supposed to be little Popple cousins. I only have the one. I think this is a really cool rare piece to have in my collection. Hang out with. Let's get into PJ Sparkle Pets. I only have one. I got this one for Christmas last year, and this one is the puppy. PJ Sparkle Pets were a part, or the Sparkle Pets were a part of the PJ Sparkle line, which was a doll line. I think there were also some other animals created that were like not like this, but this one is so silky, and they all come with this little charm necklace that have different sayings on them. And the gimmick behind this is the little stars would glow in the dark. Most of these were bunnies. I just happened to get the puppy. I think there was one bear and one puppy. Let me check. So these were created by Mattel in 1988 through 1991. There was sparkling bunny, puppy, and bear. Huggable daytime friends with nighttime surprises. Starry bodies that glow and eyes that grow sleepy when the lights go out. Glow-in-the-dark necklace that you can wear as a bracelet. There were 5 total: a purple bear, a yellow puppy, and then there was a pink bunny, a purple bunny, and a yellow bunny. But I have the puppy. I have the yellow puppy. I think this is so cool. This one was definitely on my wish list. These are also, I feel like, one of the more pricey plushies in my collection. I really love her, and I really love that she still has her necklace. And maybe I'll possibly ask for another one of these for Christmas this year. Yeah, but love her. She's so cute. Like so cute. Like this is like one of the most cutesy plushies that I've like ever seen in my life. Like imagine if you found this at the thrift store. Like imagine being able to find something so cute. Next, let's get into Magic Bottle Pets, which is another Tyco toy release. From 1991 to 1995, there was a purple bear, a pink kitty, a blue puppy, and a Dalmatian, and they would come with a bottle that would make sounds. There was also a baby doll in this line. I thrifted that one. There's the tag. She has this pattern on her feet. I ordered the purple bear before, but it was supposed to ship from Australia and it never came. And I never got a refund either. These have like really wide vinyl faces. They're very flat plushies, which I think is kind of cute. And they have just a little magic bottle. They're very simple. I would love to have them all. I think the Dalmatian is the most sought after. But yeah, such a cute plush. Look how little they are. Seeing it makes me want more. That's not good. Next, let's talk about Yum Yums. I have 2 Yum Yums, but my other one is actually packed away with my Christmas stuff. My other one is the cookie one, which only came out for Christmas. It's actually an exclusive, and I can't believe I thrifted one. But my other one I found at a toy store, a vintage toy store, and this one is Lemon Lime. He has lemons on his belly, a pink little bow tie. He has a sparkly nose. His nose has a little damage. He has the same belly pattern as ears. Yum Yums were produced by Kenner and Hallmark, 1989 to 91. There were 6 of them originally, and they were 13 inches. There was Cheery Cherry Poodle, Chuckle Chip Bear, Goody Grape Mouse, Jumpin' Jelly Bean Bunny, Lemon Lime, and Lucky Lemon Line, and Peppermint Kitty. And then there was like a party line that was released also. Yeah, they're super cute. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Oh, I think that there were maybe 2 sizes of these. Did I write it down? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's only 1 size. There might be 2, but from my notes it looks like there's only 1 size, and I have the line. Let's move into my only Hooks plushie. Hooks plushies are so unique and so underrated. Look at this beautiful pastel blue, and look how cool and unique this design is. This one is the reindeer. I think her name is Dear Me. But there was a kangaroo, an elephant, and a bird that were all this size. There were 4 large hooks that were 12 to 14 inches and came with a storybook. And then there were pet hooks, which were 8 inches, and then little hooks, which were really small, and those were 5.5 inches. I want to get all the big ones first because I think the big ones are really, really cool. And the gimmick is just that these could hook onto things, and they really can. Like on my toy shelf, I had this one like hooked onto the side, and it really helps like stabilize it. But more so than anything, these are just really, really cool. I definitely need more in my collection. Did I tell you who they are made by? Yeah, Mattel. Mattel makes everything, right? So cute. If you don't have a Hooks in your collection, you should definitely get one. Let's move on to my sprites. I don't have many. Sprites were a part of the Rainbow Bright line. If you're familiar with Rainbow Bright, I know that she's like been like reproduced some recently. There were large sprites produced by Hallmark in 1984, and there were 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 6 boys and there were 6 girl sprites, male and female. And the girl ones have like little heart lips. That's how you kind of tell the difference. They just look more feminine. And the boys ones, I'll show you their faces in a second. I have none of the girls. And then there were ones that were smaller, 5-inch, that were produced with little hats. And then there were Happy Talking ones, which were produced by Taco Bell. They came in your Taco Bell meal or something, and those were 7 inches. They had a claw hand and a squeaker. And I didn't know it, but I actually have one. I didn't even know I had one, but I do. And then there were baby sprites that came in these little plastic balls. I really, really, really want one. The balls are really rare. They would come in a little plastic ball with a diaper. There was Bitsy, Itsy, Eatsy, and Wincy, and I really want one of those. So I have some of the boy sprites. I have OJ and Spark. OJ is orange and Spark is yellow. Of course, these come in all the rainbow colors. So here's Spark. He has little star ears, little rainbow legs. He has this little funny mouth. He has some rub off on his nose, but he's super, super duper cute. Yeah, this is Spark. And then I have OJ, who is the orange one. His mouth is kind of squiggly. Their tails are, their tags are very big. Like, look how big their tags are. And then I have one of the Taco Bell ones. You can hear it. They make this squeaking sound, and then they have like a little claw hand so that they can hold things. So that's really cool. I'm not sure what the Taco Bell red one, this one's Romeo. The red one is Romeo. So yeah, I have these sprites. I also have the green one, Lucky, and I have one of the hat ones too, I think the blue one, but I think I packed them away separately, like they were on a different like Rainbow Bright shelf where these were put away with my plushie shelf. So I don't know why I didn't have them all together, but I didn't. But yeah, here are my sprites. Little by Matchbox. Needs a Little is a very small collection created in 1984, and there were only 5 animals that came with a rattle, a passy, and a blanket. A rattle or a passy and a blanket. There was a kitten, a bunny, a puppy, a bear, and a lamb. I have the lamb. Here she is. She's very cute. They're kind of in this style. They're pretty big, like wide. Mine still has its passy and its blanket. Sometimes these are missing. And they were just like a little baby animal for you to take care of. Their like back comes down, so you can see their little bottom. I find that I kind of wish it didn't have this feature because it like doesn't, the Velcro is not very good. I guess you could replace it, but I don't know. It's just not my favorite feature for it. I think that the mouths and the faces are super cute. And if they made these like in like more fantasy colors, I think other people would like them more. Especially, I just don't like this kind of. But yeah, this is my only one. I would also like to get the cat. I really like the cat. I think it's cute. Yeah, if you've never heard of this one, that's a new one for you to see. The blanket is just like a little felt. I'm glad I have this in my collection. Else I'm gonna wing with no notes because I don't have any more notes. So recently I found an ice tickle bear. Ice tickle bears were produced by Mattel, and it says 1993. These were really cool because they would come with a little necklace that was an ice pack that you could freeze, and then it would help the temperature change, would make the belly part right here change color. There were also some ice tickle bunnies. When I'm finished with everything else, I'll go and get an ice cube so I can show you and test this one out. This was in my latest plushie haul video as well, and I thrifted this one. I'm so proud when I thrift vintage plush. I also found these guys. These are called Chubbles. There are a couple other toys from the Chubble line that I really want. I didn't know that I would like these, but the more that I'm around them, the more I like these. I think they look like, you remember those like Wookiees, I think, from Star, no, not Wookiees. I think these look like those little creatures from Star Wars. I don't know what they're called, but these are, there are a couple of them that were produced with these little cloaks on in different colors. They're by Animal Fair, and they were produced in the 80s at some point. And they had motion detector. They take one of those, like, they have this little zipper in the back. They take one of those C batteries that like you connect with a little wire. See that? So I don't have those kind of batteries. I haven't used those since I was a kid for some of my toys. But yeah, when you walk in front of these guys, it makes them make a little noise and their eyes light up and stuff. But yeah, I got this one after one of my Toy Talk videos where I saw it, and then I did a ranking and I said I would never get one, and someone's like, no, you should get one, you should try it. So I did. And I unboxed it in that video because I used to do videos like that, and they were like 3-part videos where I would first go and ghost the doll. We would look through a list according to the letter, and then after that, after we talked about them for like an hour, I would rank the toys that we looked at during that video on a tier rank, and then I would pick a few to be mailed to my house. I would buy some, and then I would open them and you would get my first impression. I really miss doing those videos. But yeah, we have the purple one, we have the red one. They're really cute. And then we have, oh my gosh, a couple more things. I didn't look up the kitty kittens. So I don't have any information on kitty kittens, but there were these little kittens. There were a ton of them. And see how it makes this purring sound? I really want to say that kitty kittens is a Tyco toy. I might have to just Google it really quick and see, but yeah, they had like these water bladders so that they like felt like a kitten. Mine still has its bladder in there, you can hear it, but it's probably like old and rotten in there. Like I've seen videos of people who like remove the bladder. They have like beans in their feet. Mine purrs really well. I know people who specifically collect just these kittens. I think they came out in the 90s and they're by Tyco. I'm right, so 1993 by Tyco. They also made like puppies as well, but they're not as popular. And they made like jungle cats as well. They're really cute. Having one in my collection is fine. I don't think that I would ever like reach out and like on the internet and try to find them unless I like got them like in an Instagram sale for super cheap, or unless I thrifted them. But one example is really cool for my collection. The next thing I have is a lots of legs. Lots of legs. These are made in the 1998. This one says, no, 1984 to 1998 by Commonwealth. And they were just these little kind of like caterpillar looking guys. He has this little thing on him. And they had all these legs, and there were different ones. There would be so many, like some are like ginormous and have like 50 sets of legs or something. I have this one and I have like a miniature one. They have these little antennas. Most of them I don't think have hats. Mine has a hat. I think they're cute. Sometime I would like to get like a pink one or something. I don't really necessarily like the color palette on mine, but I have him and he's gonna stay in my collection for a while. And now the last section is going to be all about my puppy and kitty surprise collection, which is going to take a little bit. So I hope you like those toys. The original puppy surprise. So puppy surprise. Oh, their tags are on the inside, I think. Were made in 1991 by Hasbro. And a puppy surprise, you would go to the store, you would pick out a puppy. There were 3 different breeds. There was Cocker Spaniel, there was a Bulldog, and there was a Husky. Oh, there's also a Poodle one. And then you would open them up, and then inside there would be 3 to 5 puppies. There's actually a really cool feature that I don't really hear people talking about, where if you got 3 puppies, there was a mail-in form and you could mail in for another puppy. And the mail-in puppies actually look a little different than the original puppies that would come with them. But yeah, I never hear anyone mention it, and I've never seen the form. I wish I could find it and I could see it for myself, but that's what I've heard. That's the myth. So this one is the face mold for the Husky, but this one is actually a Cocker Spaniel because the Huskies all have upwards ears. I think I've done a video on these before and I said that this was a Husky, but it's not because it doesn't have the ears up, it has the ears down. A couple of the Cocker Spaniels had the same face mold, this long face mold, and they matched the Huskies, so I think that's pretty cool. But this one is the Cocker Spaniel. It's like the cream and pink one. I'll show you all the babies at the end because my babies are everywhere. It has the pink bow. If you look on Toy Sisters, you can literally identify all of yours. And then I think that the rest of my puppy surprise are actually the Bulldog, but I have a hard time telling the Bulldog from the original Cocker Spaniel face because I don't think I have any in my collection. So I have this one. They would come with these little collars that said puppy surprise on them. But this one is so pretty. It has like dark and light brown spots. And this one is the Bulldog. So cute. I have this one, which is a brown one. It has some different markings and it has purple bows. This one, see, I think its ears seem like a little longer than this one. But when I looked at the markings and stuff on the website, it said that this one was also a bulldog, I think. So, oh, and this one's collar is purple as well. The thing about these is the way that their body's turned sometimes can be hard for display as well. I had a puppy surprise as a kid. This one is probably my favorite. I really like the pink. It's like a light pink with like purple bows and stuff. Yeah, so cute. Okay, let me see what babies I can show you. I have so many babies. I don't always keep the babies with their moms. Okay, here's some more babies. Let me try to find all the doggy babies because I have other animals too. Okay, I think I have all the dog babies. So we have this little pink one who is like one of the bulldog babies. This one too, like these could honestly be like two that came with the bulldog baby. Okay, so I'm pretty sure, let me see. Yeah, okay. So I think that this puppy is one of the mail order ones. And how you can tell is that the ones that came with the mom all have this shorter tag, and the one that you sent in for mail order has this very long tag. I'm almost positive that this is true. Like, look at the difference. And I've never seen this tag on any of the other ones. Now, this one is a different dog. It has like the poodle ears, so I don't know if that makes a difference. But here are all my babies. I'll show them all to you at the same time. Here are all my puppy surprise babies, and it is literally the only one that has that long tag. I think this might be one of the mail order puppies. I would love for somebody who has like a ton of the puppies to compare and see if like they have the same like ears and stuff, because the ear shape, the ear molds are different. I know I sound like a crazy person. I'll stop talking about it. And then I have a bunny surprise, which it's like collar is so cool. It's shaped like a little bunny. This one is so cute. I love the colors of this bunny surprise. It has a couple babies too. I have these two babies. Puppy surprise was like reintroduced in the 2000s, but the babies are not as good quality as the vintage babies. And then I have a cub surprise. I have the brown one. The brown one is my least favorite color combo, but that's okay. I got her on an Instagram sale. Their pocket is located in their back. I think I have two cub babies, but I don't know if I can find them both right now. But here's one of the cub babies. I like how they sit up, like it's more like this instead of laying down. Makes it easier to display it. I also have a pony surprise, and you can see how the collar is different. I love the collars. And it has some babies as well. The babies on this one are cool because there's one laying down like sleeping baby, and then there's one baby who's awake, who's like sitting more like this direction. This baby kind of looks like a giraffe. Look at that. They're so cute. I found the other bear baby. There they are together. And then, is that everybody? Oh, I have the kitty. I have a kitty surprise. My kitty surprise is so cute. Like, look how brightly colored she is. And then here is one of her babies. I think I have a couple of babies for this one. This is one of the sleeping babies. So cute. I love, 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 love puppy, kitty, baby, pony, all the surprises. Like I said, these are very nostalgic for me because I had the puppy surprise as a kid. I think that is all. Did I miss any vintage toys? No, I think that I got all the plushies. This side of my shelf is missing everything. But thank you so much for joining me for this plushie video. We will pack them away together in just a few minutes. And then we'll be done with our video. I think that this is the final video that I will be filming in this apartment, and then the next videos that you will see probably will be me figuring out new setups for my toys and maybe going through and figuring out what collections I want to keep, what collections I want to display, what collections I want to store. So if you want to join me as I figure out my collecting journey, follow along, like and subscribe because it helps out my tiny baby channel so much. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Stay whimsical. Thanks for being here, and let's do a peaceful pack away and have a great night.
Think what you say what you need, say it now. Self-defense, confidence, all you need. Keep your head up, don't bury what you think. Burst it out, don't let it get bigger in your heart. When you bury them once, they get bigger in your heart. They all give their roots. You won't be able to take them out. Burst it out. Self-defense, confidence, burst it out. Burst it out. Say it now. All you need. Keep your head up. Think what you say what you need, say it now. Self-defense, confidence, all you need. Keep your head up, don't bury what you think. Burst it out, don't let it get bigger in your heart. When you bury them once, they get bigger in your heart. They all give their roots. You won't be able to take them out.